The landscape of B2B buyer behaviour is shifting radically in the AI era, as you'd imagine, demanding a fresh approach to growth strategies. I'm joined in the studio by Graham Hawkins from Grow. Graham, great to see you.
Good to be back here.
Obviously, a lot of people are looking at AI and the impact that it's having. What impact is it having when it comes to B2B sales?
Oh, huge impact. And I think there's a lot of growth leaders, sales leaders, marketing leaders who are perhaps asleep at the wheel, Aaron. This stuff is changing really radically fast now. So I've written a book with a...
Show us a book, hold it up, I want to see it.
Yeah, correct. Deep Selling, co-authored this book with, it's my second book, co-authored this one with a gentleman named Mark McAuliffe. And Mark's just finished a 6-year PhD in digital transformation. So we've taken a deep dive into, hence the name of the book, a deep dive into what is it that sales and marketing organisations now need to do to adjust to this modern buyer.
There is a theory that the Industrial Revolution never stopped, it actually just kept going. But what is happening is the pace of change is definitely picking up. And there will be a lot of founders, a lot of managers out there just say, I'll just wait to see where things go. What's wrong with that mentality?
Oh, that's a bad mentality now because, as you say, the rate of change is accelerating. And if you're just waiting to see what happens, you're getting left further and further behind, I believe.
You're a passenger in the vehicle.
I believe so, yeah, 100%.
And talk to us, we talk about sales, but B2B buyer behaviour. Let's focus on that. Drill down on the buyer behaviour for me.
Well, the buyer behaviour is interesting. The way that we all go out and search for, identify, acquire and consume products is changing, of course. And that's happening in B2B at a radically alarming pace, really. So you've got agentic AI helping B2B buyers make selections. I can jump on Claude or Grok, or I can jump on Gemini. I can and ask those platforms to make recommendations about products and services.
Because once upon a time, if you had a business challenge, you would head to Yellow Pages, and then that turned into Google, and now it's kind of moving away from Google into, I have a really complex problem I need to solve.
Correct.
ChatGPT, etc. Can you help me with this?
Correct.
And we generally follow along with what it says.
And those platforms are getting more and more accurate. So we're seeing a shift from SEO to GEO, generative engine optimization. In other words, how do I ensure that my business, Grow, shows up in those large language model searches? When a buyer is searching and doing their research, they're down funnel.
You want to be a solution that comes up.
You want to be visible.
Well, how's that possible? Because obviously you've got the initial changes that business leaders need to be looking at. This sounds like a really obvious one, but a lot of people wouldn't even know where to start to try and make sure that they are picked up by these large language models. Yeah,
correct. There's a lot of strategy and thought going into content now, and how you ensure that your content strategy is feeding those large language models so that you do show up.
Do you mean content to tell the LLMs and the world what you do, or do you mean the content itself?
Yeah, the content that tells the world what you do, but there's also that other part, which is how do I ensure that I understand what my buyers are asking those platforms? So knowing the buyer and knowing how they search and what prompts they're using is critically important now too.
And obviously there are sales departments, marketing departments, and a lot of people have done really well with SEO and in the old world of things. It's not just the leader of the business that now needs to learn, it's the entire organisation needs to adapt quickly. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, well listen, there's a movement now happening where I think the hyper-growth companies are realising that everyone in the organisation plays a role in amplifying the brand, amplifying the message. So let's get really narrowed in on, what does an ideal customer profile look like? How do I engage that ideal customer? And what's the message that I need to get to them? So right platform, right message, right time, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and being right is pretty challenging because also the trouble with LLMs is they get things wrong. And we also, in the back of our mind, I mean, I can't tell you how many rabbit warrens I've been down with ChatGPT trying to fix a problem only to work out 2 days in that the whole process was actually wrong and I needed to go somewhere else. That can be a challenge for business too, making sure that they don't end up on, in the back of people's minds, not assisting through these LLMs too. And the idea that buyers are out there using LLMs, that is a new thing. How common is it?
It's very common. 9 out of 10 B2B buyers, according to Gartner, are now using generative AI for searching.
Wow.
So it's a radically changed time, and I think there's a lot of, as I say, a lot of business leaders who are asleep at the wheel with this stuff now.
The idea of deep selling and the benefits, what is deep selling?
Right, so I've spent 35 years in B2B sales, Aaron. You and I have talked about this before, and back in the day, I was told, Graham, there's your territory or your set of accounts, and it was always too big. And so I found myself as a salesperson always a mile wide and an inch deep. And so that's not what B2B buyers want these days. They want partners, not suppliers. They want to do more business with less vendors. So they want the deep relationship. The challenge for us in sales and marketing now is how do we give them what they now expect?
Yeah, and it's fascinating as well because you're seeing these big tech companies now try and make $2 million off each employee. When it comes to salespeople as well, there are a lot of companies who can't even make the money to pay the salespeople.
Wow, to your point, the biggest cost of growth in every company is, as a percentage of revenue, is sales and marketing.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking at agentic AI now to see where can we displace the humans?
Yeah. How can it help bring down our costs?
Exactly.
Really appreciate your time. Where can we find the book?
On Amazon.
All right, wonderful. Deep Selling is what it's called.
Deep Selling, yep, that's the one.
All right, Graham, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. Cheers.